As a psychology student, I have posted a few videos in the past few years regarding attachment styles. And I also enjoy learning about behavior, the brain, trauma, particularly healing from trauma. And my direction I'm taking is in mental health counseling. And I'm also very much interested in brain body connection, how the body stores the trauma, our nervous system. So occasionally I do post content aside from my ex Jehovah's Witness content to do with psychology, to do with relationships. And one interesting thing that I have come to conclusion from my personal experience as well as from my own studies is that there is so much emphasis on attachment styles in relationships where people are struggling that I've come to conclusion, and it's not just myself, there's other psychologists who are actually qualified and accredited psychologists agree with that whilst attachment styles do play a little part in relationships, ultimately they are getting far more attention and emphasis than needed, because ultimately if a relationship is not mutual, if there isn't mutual commitment, then blaming avoidant, dismissive avoidant, or anxious attachment, it's really missing the point. So let me explain. So I've personally been in situations where I've been labeled as having an anxious attachment, which was a surprise to me because before that particular situation, I had never been in an anxious attachment. I didn't even know that existed. Because to me is if I know where I stand and I know what the other person feels like or what they feel, or I look at their actions and I know where I stand in the relationship, then the anxiety doesn't really have the room to grow. And obviously when I first came across attachment styles, I did a lot of research, a lot of reading, a lot of studying about it. And whilst in my own when a university degree, there is a part on attachment styles, it's more to do with young children, and sort of it kind of runs in the background, but it's never really so prevalent as it's made out to be by a lot of the coaches and so-called coaches on social media. A lot of them unfortunately do not have any qualifications or training to be giving advice, psychological advice or relationship advice, but that's a whole another conversation. I think it's extremely dangerous, some of these things that have been shared on social media by people who have got no accreditation and no training in actual psychology or mental health, and outright quite harmful at times. And yes, attachment styles exist, and yes, they are formed in childhood, depending on your caregivers. Can it affect us? Yes, it can. It can make us lean anxious or lean dismissive. But ultimately, the conclusion I've come to is that you are going to be naturally secure when you are in a mutually committed relationship or partnership or even friendship, and you know where you stand and you have the same core values with the person and same goals as in regards to relationship. So what that means is even if you are slightly on the anxious side, that anxiety is not going to be triggered to the degree where you are living in panic and you are questioning everything, because you're not going to be getting the hot and cold treatment. You're not going to be getting the push and pull. There's not going to be any mind games. There's not going to be like dismissing of your feelings and, invalidating how you feel. Because when someone is committed to you, they will show that with their actions, and they will not want to hurt you regardless whether they are leaning avoidant or not. And I, from a personal experience, as I mentioned, there's only one time I was in a situation where I was seemingly, well, my anxiety was triggered a lot. And since coming out of that situation and being in a relationship now where we have the same values, we have the same goals, and it is fully committed on both sides, my anxiety simply does not exist anymore because I know where I stand. And I think that's the point a lot of people miss, and they blame themselves, like, oh, this relationship isn't working because I'm anxiously attached, or they are dismissive, avoidant. No, the relationship isn't working because the other party does not want you. And that's the truth. They don't want you. Maybe they're keeping you around because it's comfortable, it's convenient, they like you, but they don't want you as a committed partner. And your body knows before your mind does. And that's the truth. Our body always knows before our mind does if something or someone is not right for us. Our body will give clues. It will give anxiety to tell you that something is wrong. Anxiety is your body signaling that something isn't right. And we need to listen to it instead of blaming it and saying my anxiety is causing this relationship to not work. It's actually, well, my anxiety is telling me that this person's not invested, that they're not being truthful, they're not being honest, they playing mind games with me, they being hot and cold, and they manipulating me. So your body's is telling you the truth. You just need to listen to it and do yourself a favor and count your losses and move on. Easier said than done. I know, I've been there. But ultimately, when you come out the fight or flight mode, because that's basically where your anxiety is putting you, it's a signal, it's a sign that you're in survival mode, you're not safe. When you do not feel safe in a relationship, you will have anxiety. It is simple as that. Your body will tell you that you are not safe in that relationship. And unfortunately, we can't force another person to do the right thing or to be honest or to, let us go. Sometimes people like to waste your time and string you along because you're useful. They like how you make them feel. They like what you can do for them, and they will string you along because you're filling in a gap. You're a stopgap. You're a filler until they meet the person that they actually want to be with, and then their dismissive, avoidant attachment style will disappear because it will not exist with the person they actually want to be with. And that's unfortunately the hard pill to swallow, but that is the truth, and I've learned that. And I know that because being with a partner who is committed, your body will tell you that, and you will not have any anxiety over it. You will not have any anxious attachment. You will be secure. And yes, you can still be a little bit on the anxious side, but if you look up Dr. Sarah Hensley, she's also has a social media online presence. She is an accredited psychologist, and she talks a lot about attachment styles and issues, but she also agrees with the fact that a lot of times attachment styles are being overemphasized when ultimately the bottom line is that the other person simply does not want you, and they're not committed to you, and your body knows before your mind does. So whether you agree with this or don't agree with this, again, like I said, attachment styles do exist. They can affect us. But when it becomes so toxic that you're constantly anxious, panicky, and you are in a survival state, then there is something wrong. There's something wrong, and it's not because someone is dismissive, avoidant, because even the most avoidant person, they will make an effort if they are committed to you. And I think it can work both ways. So ultimately, we have to face the truth and put your well-being first. Put your well-being first, because there will always be someone out there who's for you and who will want to be with you. You don't have to waste your time on someone who's stringing you along and is hot and cold and doesn't know whether they want you or not. So that's my thought, and I hope that helps and you enjoy this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.